Hey there, and welcome to the Girl Means Business podcast, the show that's all about helping photographers just like you build a thriving business without sacrificing your sanity. I'm your host, Kendra Swalls, a former teacher turned full-time photographer and marketing coach, here to fill your earbuds each week with practical tips, real-life stories, and a whole lot of encouragement. So if you're ready to dive in, let's get to it because this girl means business. Hey there, welcome back to the Girl Means Business podcast. Okay, so we are entering into our last week of August. Fall is just around the corner, and I guess technically the first day of fall is not until September 21st or 22nd, but I like to believe that once you hit September, you're basically on your way there. So the other day, I got real excited because my favorite local coffee shop had posted behind the scenes photos and videos of them doing their fall drink photo shoot. And they're really cool about doing these little flights. So they'll offer flights of 3 or 4 different small versions of different drinks for you to try. And they have a pie flight. So it's 3 kind of pie inspired fall beverages. And I got so excited. I'm not a pumpkin spice girl, but you give me anything caramel apple and I'm all in. So I'm getting super excited for fall. And speaking of fall, we are getting into what we like to call the busy season, especially if you are a family photographer. So what I want to talk about today is kind of twofold. We're going to be talking about marketing and how to avoid kind of that marketing roller coaster ride we all end up on where you get really busy and then you just drop off the face of the earth. But I also really want to talk about lead magnets. And before you roll your eyes and click away, I promise you this is going to be good and you're going to want to listen, because even if you have not started an email list or email is the very bottom of your things you want to be working on list, you're going to want to listen to this because there's a lot of really good value in here that's not just necessarily about lead magnets, but about just how to reach your ideal client in general. So I want to start with a quick little review of why email marketing is so powerful, but also why right now is the best time to start building up your email list. So obviously email marketing, I'm very passionate about. I've been teaching email marketing to photographers for the last several years. I have seen photographers get a lot of really good success. I have personally get a lot of success from email marketing, both in my coaching business and in my photography business. It's how I get a lot of my clients coming back to me is through emails that I send out. Sometimes they get forwarded to other people, or sometimes it just reminds somebody that I worked with years ago that, hey, I'm still here if you need to get back in touch with me and book a session. I've had clients that I did family sessions for 6-7 years ago that are on my email list. They'll get an email from me. I haven't heard from them in years. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, I need to get updated headshots. Can you do that for me? Or my daughter's a senior. Let's book our senior sessions. You never know when someone's on your list. It may not get you an immediate result is what I'm trying to say. But when you have an email list of people who want to hear from you and want to stay in touch with you, you're more likely to turn those people into clients than you are strangers on social media. So as a whole, email marketing is just a much more stable marketing strategy than your social media plan. Now, why right now is a great time to build your email list is because we're going into the fall season, which means that a lot of parents, a lot of moms in particular, are going to start turning to Google and social media to look for a photographer. If they don't already have a photographer, they're going to be looking for one very soon. And if they can come across your website or your social media post or your Pinterest pin or your free lead magnet specifically, and they can get onto your email list, you are going to have a flood of people coming to your email because you have a flood of people going to these places to look for a family photographer for fall photo shoots. That's a tongue twister. So if you think about it in those terms, think about you have your social media bucket, you have your Google bucket, you have your referral bucket. Okay, that's where people are talking about you in real life. Right now, you're going to see all 3 of those buckets start to overflow with potential clients because more people are coming into the space of searching for a photographer. So more people are going to be going to social media and searching for photographers. More people are going to be going to Google and searching for photographers. More people are going to be going to their friends and asking for referrals for photographers. So you're going to see this flood of people coming into these buckets. If you want to utilize and best capture those overflows, those people coming in, then building out your email list is going to become a lot easier this time of year because you have such an influx of people looking for what you're offering. I hope that makes sense. Like, it makes sense in my head, but I'm also on cold medicine, so I don't know that my head is working properly today. So hopefully that makes sense. The goal is that you have, or the bottom line is you have more people coming online to search for what you offer. Take advantage of that and try to get them onto your email list so that even if they don't book with you right away, you still have access to them in the future to book future sessions from you. That's the ultimate goal with email marketing, is that you are building this list of potential clients that may not be ready to book with you right now. Maybe you're out of their price range at the moment, or maybe they already have a family friend that's offered to take their photos, but they're looking for something in the future. Maybe they just need quick family photos for right now and they've gone with someone else, but mom is expecting and wants to do maternity newborn photos and she loves your work in that area. You never know what people's circumstances are. And so get them on your email list, stay in touch with them, communicate with them, build that trust in that relationship. And you never know, that might turn into your next best client. Okay, moving on to part 2 of this episode, which is where we're going to talk about how to get people onto your email list. So the best way to get people onto your email list is through a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet, if you are not familiar with this term, it means anything that you are giving your audience in exchange for their email address. Typically, this is something you're offering for free or for extremely low cost. It can also be, an actual physical item. It could be a digital product. It could be a discount. It could be a lot of different things. What I want to focus on today is some of the mistakes I see photographers making when it comes to lead magnets, and also some creative ways that you can get people on your email list, because I really believe, and this comes from talking to so many photographers over the last couple of years about email and lead magnets and content and all the things, is that it's very hard sometimes for photographers to wrap their brain around the idea of a lead magnet. And I think it's because, especially if you've been doing this for a while, we are kind of in this mindset of like the Pinterest era where you go on Pinterest and someone has, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to lead magnets, just FYI, what to wear for your fall family photos. Free guide, download now. That is one of my triggers, okay? And I don't use the word trigger very lightly, but it is one of those things that it makes me want to reach through my screen, grab the photographer and shake them by the shoulders and go, you can do better. Because here's the problem. If someone is on Pinterest searching for, what do I wear for my fall family photos? 99% of the time, they already have a photographer. They have already booked a session. So while the idea of a style guide, a what to wear guide is wonderful, it is not a great lead magnet. It is a great guide to add to your booking form. So or your, information packet after somebody has booked with you, great. Add it to that. It does not necessarily need to be what you are offering for free to your potential clients. Because again, if they're at that point, if they're already looking for what to wear, most likely they already have a photographer booked and you have reached them at the wrong point in their client journey. Your goal with a lead magnet is to reach your ideal client before they want to book a photo shoot, before they may even be ready to know they want to book a photo shoot.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let me ask you something. How many hours have you spent in your business stressing over social media, fighting with an algorithm, trying to keep up with the latest trends, and just posting for the sake of posting, only to feel like you're spinning your wheels and nobody's even paying attention? I've been there, and let me tell you, it is the worst. But I have a fun little secret for you. Did you know that you don't actually need social media to keep your calendar full? Now, I know that goes against everything all of the other quote unquote experts are telling you to do in your business. But I am living proof that you do not need social media to grow your photography business. I have been successfully staying booked solid in my photography business for the last 8 years with very minimal social media use. And I am excited to show you exactly what I've been doing inside of a private podcast series. The 7-day booking blueprint is 8 power-packed episodes that you can binge all at once or listen to at your own pace. Each episode is actionable and designed to help you book more clients without relying on social media. If you're hearing this ad right now, that means that you are a fan of the Girl Means Business podcast. Thank you, by the way. But if you've ever found yourself saying, man, I wish I could just dive even deeper. I wish I could have a one-on-one sit down with Kendra and really pick her brain about all the things that she's doing in her business, then this podcast series is going to give you everything you've been hoping for. It is so packed with so much information that you are going to walk away feeling like you have the exact roadmap you need to grow your photography business. So if you're ready to hop off that social media hamster wheel and actually start seeing results in your business and start filling up your calendar, head down to the show notes and grab the link so that you can start listening right away.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let me ask you something. How many hours have you spent in your business stressing over social media, fighting with an algorithm, trying to keep up with the latest trends, and just posting for the sake of posting, only to feel like you're spinning your wheels and nobody's even paying attention? I've been there, and let me tell you, it is the worst. But I have a fun little secret for you. Did you know that you don't actually need social media to keep your calendar full? Now, I know that goes against everything all of the other quote unquote experts are telling you to do in your business. But I am living proof that you do not need social media to grow your photography business. I have been successfully staying booked solid in my photography business for the last 8 years with very minimal social media use. And I am excited to show you exactly what I've been doing inside of a private podcast series. The 7-day booking blueprint is 8 power-packed episodes that you can binge all at once or listen to at your own pace. Each episode is actionable and designed to help you book more clients without relying on social media. If you're hearing this ad right now, that means that you are a fan of the Girl Means Business podcast. Thank you, by the way. But if you've ever found yourself saying, man, I wish I could just dive even deeper. I wish I could have a one-on-one sit down with Kendra and really pick her brain about all the things that she's doing in her business, then this podcast series is going to give you everything you've been hoping for. It is so packed with so much information that you are going to walk away feeling like you have the exact roadmap you need to grow your photography business. So if you're ready to hop off that social media hamster wheel and actually start seeing results in your business and start filling up your calendar, head down to the show notes and grab the link so that you can start listening right away. So your lead magnet needs to be something that provides value, that gives them a quick win, and that meets them where they're at in the client journey, not where you want them to be, which is reaching out to you to book a session. The whole goal is to get them on your email list so that you can then stay in contact with them. And when they're ready to book a session, you're the name they think of. But if the goal is, I'm going to put this lead magnet out and I'm going to get people booking right away, you might become disappointed. Now, I say that with a little asterisk because one of the things we're going to talk about today is seasonal lead magnets, and that has a little bit of a different strategy behind it, but we'll get to that point. So let's go ahead and dive into different types of lead magnets. So I already mentioned just a second ago the seasonal ones. So we're going to divide this into kind of 2 categories today. The first category is evergreen lead magnets. So evergreen just means that it can live on your website. It can live in your marketing strategy toolkit year round, just like, evergreen plants or evergreen trees. They stay green year round. Evergreen content is great because it doesn't require a whole lot of maintenance. It's kind of a one and done. Well, nothing's really one and done. I don't want to say that, but it's you do the bulk of the work up front, and then the rest of it happens over time. You do not have to put as much ongoing work into an evergreen lead magnet. Okay, so let's look at some examples of evergreen lead magnets. One that I personally utilize, I find it's the easiest. It's also something that my clients like because they're coming to my website already knowing they're looking for a photographer. And so I offer a discount. So when you go to my photography page, Paisley Lane Photography, once you're on there for a few seconds, you'll see a pop-up box come up, and it's offering $100 off their first session. And the reason that this works really well is, one, I have built that $100 discount into my pricing, knowing that if a majority of my clients that are coming to me for the first time are going to use that $100 off, I have then increased my pricing by about $100. So if someone comes to me for a session, they haven't seen the $100 off, then that's just a bonus on my end. But I am able to give that discount to most of my new clients, knowing that I am not losing out on that money, if that makes sense. I've already built that into my pricing structure. I've seen some photographers will offer a discount in percentages, so 20% off your first session. The nice thing about that is if you have tiered pricing, the higher the package they buy, it's actually a better discount for them. And so you can kind of talk them into higher packages because they're getting a higher discount with the percentage versus a flat rate. So discounts are always a good one. Again, that does not require a whole lot of work. It's literally just you putting up a pop-up or a banner on your website, posting it on social media, wherever else you're putting your lead magnets out into the world, and letting them know that for new clients only, you get whatever the discount is. We know that this works really well, not only in the photography space, but anywhere you go that you're going to be seeing these pop-ups, especially shopping sites. Majority of shopping sites are going to have some kind of discount. It's usually 10% or free shipping, or you see some that are like get a free item when you sign up. Like if it's a physical products that you're buying from the company, they'll say like, we'll throw in a free whatever it is. I was on a site the other day and it was like, we're going to throw in a free like hair scrunchie or hair clip of some kind. You got to pick from like 3 different, scrunchies or hair clips. And I was already buying hair products for my kids. And so I was like, sure, if I can get a free hair clip, let's do it. And I was willing to put in my email address for that. So sometimes it can just be little things like that. Another one that's really fun, that's kind of along the idea of the discount code, is spinner wheels. So if you've ever gone on to, again, usually a shopping site, they'll have a pop-up and it's like you click a button and it spins a little wheel, and on that wheel are different discounts or different free prizes you can earn. And then whatever it lands on is what you get, and you put in your email address and then it sends you the code or the whatever. I use Flowdesk for my email provider. I have a discount for that as well if you're interested in signing up with Flowdesk. You can get, I believe it's 50% off your first year. I will have that down in the show notes. But they have a form that you can easily add to your website, and it will do a spinner wheel for you. So you just input the different items you want to put onto your spinner wheel, and it makes this fun little wheel that people can spin when they come to your website, and then they get whatever discount or prize that you have put on that wheel as the winning option. Along those same lines, another fun lead magnet that I see people using that doesn't necessarily feel like a lead magnet, it's more of an entertainment factor to some degree, are quizzes. Now, I've done quizzes in the past, especially when I was doing wedding photography. When I was doing a lot of wedding photography, I had a couple of different wedding style related quizzes that I would put out. And those work especially really well on like Facebook and Pinterest because people are always kind of intrigued. We've all taken those quizzes. It's like, which Harry Potter house would you be part of? Or which Friends character are you most like? What's your dream vacation, or where in the world should you be living based on your personality? Things like that. Like, that feels really fun. It doesn't feel like I'm being tricked into giving you my email address. And so I have done quizzes. They've worked really well in the past. It has to be done correctly. Now, the thing with quizzes is the goal is for it to be fun, not to feel like it's something you're doing to lead them into purchasing something. So if your quiz is what location is best for your next family session, that might feel a little bit leading. But if your next quiz is what is your family's fun time personality, and they can take a fun quiz to see or what is, I'm just bouncing off so the wording here is not going to be great, but something along the lines of what is your family's game night style, or what board game best represents your family. Like, those are fun. Like, people are like, yeah, I kind of want to, like, what would my family's board game style be? And it may not necessarily lead to or have to do with photography, but you're reaching your ideal client. They're getting on your email list. And then if you do things like in-home lifestyle sessions, you can offer them a discount on a fun family game night or family game day photo shoot. The whole point is that you're looking to think outside the box, get creative. Because if you're creating the same lead magnet that every other photographer around you is creating, you're going to get lost in all the noise. So what I recommend is just you can even go on Pinterest, see what other people outside of the photography industry are doing, or think about, like, what is something that would entice you? What is something that would get you excited about entering your email into something? The next two are a little more traditional. One of them is guides. So guides are like little PDF downloads that you can just give away. You can create them in Canva, super easy. An example might be how to take better photos with your iPhone. If you're dealing with parents, moms especially, who are looking for a photographer for their family, they're probably interested in how they can take better photos on their own in between professional sessions. So creating a quick little PDF guide that gives them just a couple little things that they can do to improve their iPhone photos. And then now they're on your email list. They're going to learn more about you, and they're going to think the next time they want to hire a professional photographer, they're going to have more trust in you because you've now helped them do something and helped them to feel like they have been able to accomplish something on their own. The last one in this little section I'm going to talk about is challenges. Now, challenges can be really fun because they're this sort of short-lived thing that you do. You can plan it all out in advance. It can run evergreen in your business, or you can do it for a certain set of time. One lady I used to follow on Instagram, her whole business model was decluttering and teaching people how to kind of minimalize distractions in their home and in their lives. And so every January, she had like a 6-week decluttering challenge. And you would join a Facebook group, and it was for that specific 6 weeks. And you would go through and you would declutter a different part of your house each week of the 6 weeks. And in the Facebook group, we would share before and after photos and tips and all the things. And it was really fun. It built up her email list like crazy. She sold a course at the end of it always, which made her tons of money. But the point of that was it worked really, really well for 2 reasons. One is it wasn't just I'm going to download this thing that's going to live on my computer, I'm going to forget about it. Every week you were getting reminders that you were part of this thing. And so every week it kind of re-energized you around the topic of the challenge. Now, obviously hers was for a set period of time, and it was very much a hands-on. So for that 6 weeks in January, February, she was very hands-on, but that was a huge part of her business marketing strategy. If you're wanting to make it more evergreen, you can create a challenge like 6 weeks of non-tech family activities you can do outdoor, or in your area, wherever, Dallas, Fort Worth, or Denver, Colorado, or Knoxville, Tennessee, wherever you live. And then each week you can send out a fun little email where you're sharing some cool activity they can do as a family around your area. Maybe it's something like, here's a really cool bike trail you can take your kids to, get the bikes out, go for a nice little ride, take the dogs, all that kind of stuff. And then the next week, maybe it's something like a really fun indoor go-karting track. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but again, you're staying top of mind. And that is one you can create. You can set it all up, and then it's going to run in the background for as long as you have it active. And it's not necessarily something you have to monitor or upkeep over and over and over again. Now, the next section I want to talk about are seasonal lead magnets. So just like they suggest, they are lead magnets that you could put into place for a specific season of life or the year. So as we're going into the fall season and we're getting to holiday season, this is a great time to create seasonal lead magnets around the holidays. One in particular that I saw a photographer do that I was working with, and it worked hugely well for her last year, and she's going to repeat doing it again this year, is Canva holiday card templates. So she's really, really creative as far as like visual design. So she went into Canva, she created, I think it was 6 different holiday card templates, and then she placed her personal, like her, photography photos in the templates as the example, and then the blank ones for her clients to use. And she offered those as lead magnets. And so the cool thing about that is that it allowed her to market to people who were wanting family photos, obviously for, upcoming holiday card use. But if someone already had their family photos done and they were just utilizing the template, they're now on her email list, and who knows where they might hire her in the future. So it's a double whammy there. You get a little bit of both. You get the ones who might be just ahead of the game. They haven't booked anyone yet, but they come across your templates and they're like, "Ooh, I want to save these for later. Oh, also she's a photographer. Well, I need a photographer. Let's hire this." Another one that's really fun is to do like a holiday activities guide for families. So in your local area, make a list of all of the family activities. So like, for example, here in the DFW area, we have the Polar Express train. So in Grapevine, which is kind of centrally located, they have this really cool old train, and they do a whole thing around it to make it look like Polar Express, and Mrs. Claus is on the train serving hot cocoa, and you walk out to this like snowy wonderland. Even though we're in Texas, they fake it. And it's so fun. And people love that kind of stuff. There's also like, we have a huge at the Gaylord resort, there's a huge like ice exhibit where you can go in and you can go like ice tubing and ice skating. And there's the theme every year, and they have ice sculptures. So creating a holiday guide like that could be a really cool seasonal thing to do. You could do the same thing in the spring. You could do the same thing in the summer. Think about like, what are the things in your area that people are going to be interested in? Creating seasonal ones is really great, but then you have to remember to take it down because nobody wants to log into or come across your website in February and see holiday card templates. So you kind of have to manage that, and it takes a little bit more timing, whereas Evergreen can just kind of live all the time. Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind you that when it comes to your lead magnet, this is not just a set it and forget it strategy. It's more so set it and forget it than some other things, but you still have to put in some work to market this lead magnet. The benefit though is that when you're marketing a lead magnet versus marketing your services, with a lead magnet, you're offering them something of value at no cost. So you're more likely to get responses from it because you're not out there pushing a product or a service. You're just saying, "Hey, I created this cool thing." So for example, let's use the Christmas card templates. So let's say you have couple moms groups in your area that you're part of, and we're coming into the holiday season, and you are not allowed to promote your services in these moms groups because they get real picky about that. But if you go in there and you're like, "Hey, I know we're coming up on the holiday season and Christmas cards are on the brain. So I've created a couple of Canva templates. If you're looking for something that's kind of outside the box, not your traditional or not the ones everybody else is going to be sending out off of, wherever they get their Christmas cards from. What's the one I'm thinking of? Shutterfly. If you want something that's a little bit more unique and creative and fun, I've created these Canva templates that you can utilize. Here's the free guide, or here's the link. And then that's not promoting your services. That's giving away something for free. And it's less likely to get flagged by like the moderators. So little tip there. The lead magnet marketing is way easier than marketing your actual services that people are going to be a little more leery of. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap up today's episode, all about sort of email marketing, lead magnets. If I was particularly covering family sessions today, but if you have a genre or an idea, or you're like, I've been thinking about this as lead magnet, I'm not sure how this would work, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me at kendra@girlmeansbusiness.com. You can find me on Instagram at girlmeansbusiness. Or just, reach out to me wherever you can, and I would be happy to chat with you more about your thoughts and ideas. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you back here next week, same time, same place.